Good evening, everybody. Such a warm welcome to all of you as we're coming in, and lovely to see so many faces, new faces, familiar faces. I'm delighted to be here this evening as our last event of the year, our second last, because there's still a healing course doing some healing on Saturday, but our second last, but really to our community, it will be our last event for the year. And I'm really excited because it's going to be an evening of tarot. And Soleil, who is the tarot tutor, she holds the tarot in its sacredness and she honors it and has been doing it for so many years. And while we just wait while the room fills up, I'm going to share a story about Soleil's teaching. And we recently accredited our tarot course. And we've just done the accreditations, and I was the lucky one to receive a number of readings from our foundation in tarot. And I was absolutely blown away around students that had gone through the foundation and did a 15-minute reading with a 3-card spread for me. The amount of valuable information I have for my current situation, for my future in various areas of my life is actually quite extraordinary. So the students have been blown away by the teaching of 10 weeks of tarot, but as a witness to this craft of Soleil's and the work that she does, I was blown away by the readings that I got. So if any of those students are here, I see some of you who gave me amazing readings. Thank you so much. It's been useful already. The reason it is tarot can get really accurate and the cards don't lie. So now as we are all here, and I just wanted to share that because it really blew me away, and had so much. As I say, I had about 15 readings in all areas of my life, and it's really sort of set me up with knowing my shadow, knowing my light, knowing where to look for, seeing what I need to call in, seeing where I need to shift, so they can make a massive difference in your life. So tonight we're going to have some fun. Soleil's got a action-packed evening. We're going to look at the overriding theme for 2025. We're going to look at the mechanics of tarot, and then we're going to get some individual cards as well. So I'm going to get more readings. I'm a beneficiary of Soleil doing this. Soleil teaches at the school. She's a coach. She runs beautiful circles and holds energy for numbers of people. We are just so lucky and privileged to have her on our team at the school. And now, Soleil, I'm going to shut up and hand over to you.
Wow, thank you. That was so lovely. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone, and welcome. So this evening, we are going to mix the deep, profound wisdom of tarot and a little bit of light-hearted sense of humor. We're going to look at 2025 and the macro energies that this year is carrying for us as a collective, but we're also going to look at the specifics of how these energies might impact you, might support you, what you can expect. So there's going to be an element of prediction in this evening's informations and messages that I'm going to share. But if nothing else, I would like you to take this as a moment of reflection. We're in mid-December, we're heading into the festive season. This is the time when maybe we do our vision boarding, our goal setting, our intention setting for the new year. So if there is any energy or any aspect of what I'm sharing this evening that resonates with you, or maybe just triggers a little reflection, take that as a starting point for you to then take that energy, take the archetypes that come through the tarot and make them yours, and reflect on how those energies can empower you and support you and expand your life for 2025. So with all of that said, a little disclaimer. I am a little bit detail oriented, as Cindy will tell you. So what I'm trying to do is to share a lot of information. Now, we're not going to get sleepy, bored, and dribbling on our keyboards. So you will see on the slides, some of the slides have a lot of information. I'm not expecting you to read all of the information, but what I encourage you to do is take a little screenshot. And we're also going to share the slides after this meeting. So if there is something that you want to then sit with, meditate on, and take into your spiritual and energetic practice, you can do that in your own time. So there is no pressure to read everything and assimilate all the various aspects of the reading. And maybe something that you also want to go back to, maybe in January or maybe March or later next year. So all of this information, all of this wisdom, all of these details and messages that the tarot will share with us this evening, don't feel any pressure to absorb everything right now. Allow to stick what needs to be within your energy and awareness right now, and the rest you can always go back to, okay? All right, with all of that said, I'm going to start sharing my screen. So an official welcome to Decode 2025 with Tarot Insights for your year ahead. Probably most of you know me. My name is Chirco. I've been reading tarot for a very long time. I'm a spiritual and energy coach. I love what I do. The end. If you want to know more about me, just ask me, follow me on Instagram and send me a message. But I'm super hyper passionate, excitable about all things that energy and spiritual work and tarot. So this is my usual vibe and my usual energy. I'm not just hyped up for this evening. My students will tell you this is just me. That's the normal vibration that I bring into things. But more importantly, content for this evening. We're going to look at the 2025 Master card, not a credit card, Master card as in the Master energy, the card that holds the overall energy from a collective perspective for 2025. We're then going to 2025, and macro energy feels quite big and large and kind of top level. So we're going to go one level deeper and look at how we're transitioning and embodying different energies from January to December throughout next year. So we're going to get a little bit more specific with a little bit more guidance and references that apply to you on a more specific level. And then the final step, we're going to take it even more close to home, even more personalized with some readings and insights for yourself, for you to take and reflect on for yourself. Before we do any of that, it's Thursday. I don't know about you, but it feels like a Monday to me. So I think it might be a good idea to just pause for 1 second and allow our energy to settle. So I invite all of you to put both your feet on the floor and take just one moment to do this very short but powerful meditation with me. So I'd like you to place your feet on the floor and just wiggle on your chair or on the sofa and just find a comfortable position. And just allow yourself to connect with your body. Perhaps it's been a long day, or you have loads of thoughts and emotions still floating in your energy. Just a moment to pause and visualize strong, deep roots from your base chakra and the soles of your feet going down into the earth, connecting with that beautiful, calm, stable energy of Mother Earth. And feel this beautiful, nurturing wave of grounding energy flowing up into your own energy. And allow it to fill your own body, your own emotions, your own thoughts, all the way into the spiritual layer of your energy. And visualize this on a physical level, emotional level, mental level, spiritual level, in front, and behind you, on the right side and left side, above and below you. Completely held and safe and grounded. And feel your energy relaxing and expanding. And allow yourself to release anything that is not yours or no longer serves you, whether it's thoughts from the day or energy that is not yours, with intention that is safely transmuted. Take a moment to center in your heart space, and from here, take your intention up to your crown, and from your crown to the highest vibration that is available to you at this time. Setting the intention that the messages and insights that you will receive this evening are for your highest good, to support, guide you in your journey in a way that is clear, accurate, and timely. Visualize yourself surrounded by a bubble of protective light of any color that comes to you intuitively, so that you feel grounded, clear in your energy, and protected. And then gently allow your body to stretch and bring you back into the Zoom call. All right, everyone, welcome back. Okay, so a little disclaimer. Before we begin, let me just say there are no good and bad cards. There are some cards that look really bad, but all cards have a light shadow, a light side, and a shadow side. So whatever comes up for you, if there is something that is a little bit triggering or something unexpected, please remember all cards have light and dark sides to them and shadow sides. We're going to start looking at 2025 macro energies and what those energies mean to you. Now, look at what happened. This wasn't intentional, but somehow I managed to make this spread look like a Christmas tree. I promise it wasn't intentional, it just happened. But what we're going to do is doing basically 3 different layers of our reading. We're going to start with the master card for the year. And this is the card that represents the overall energy for the year. And then the second layer, these 2 cards next to each other, that's the energy flow, the themes and the transition that we're going to go through for 2025 from January to December. And then 1 till 4, I'll explain more later, is our supportive energies. Like, what is it that we can call in and tap in to be supported in 2025? Okay, so in my tarot Christmas tree, involuntary tarot Christmas tree, for those of you who are curious, the top part of the tree was selected with me actively working with the tarot and using a little bit of numerology. So what I did was focusing on majors only that are big energies, big archetypes, to really give us that big overview of macro energies without getting lost into details. And so in particular, you can take this recording and do this all over again for next year if you want to. For the MasterCard, I added up 2025, so 2, 2, 5, it's 9. And then for the other calculations from January, the energy that we step into on the 1st of January, I added up the 1st of January, 0101 plus 2025. That gives me 11. And then until December, that's the 31st or the 12th, 2025. This is a very simple technique where we just use simple basic numerology to create a correspondence from a specific date or a specific period of time and an archetype in the majors of the tarot. And then even if you're not that proficient with tarot, you can just look up the card and get a little bit more insights. So the top of my unintentional Christmas tree has been calculated using the numerology that I just explained, and the bottom part has been intuitively selected. So I set up a very specific intention for everyone in this group, whether it's watching live or watching the replay, for 4 cards to come forward with supportive energies. So my question was, what supportive energy can I invite in? And I will tell you in a moment how we're going to use the last part of our unintentional Christmas tree. Okay, so if you're a tarot lover, you want to replicate this next year, or just want to know a little bit about the mechanics of how I came to these energies and these cards, that's how I did it. And you're very welcome to repeat that next year if you would like to. But let's now get into the interesting messages and information. Let's start with the Master card, okay? Our 2025 Master card is associated with the number 9, which is associated with the Hermit. So what I'm going to share is just a little bit more information as the Hermit, as our Master energy for 2025. And this energy really speaks of profound and transformative time coming up in 2025, a time of really inner discovery, spiritual growth. This is very much a time to turn inward, perhaps away from external distractions, the push and pull of other people's needs, other people's priorities, the business of life, and seek that quiet wisdom that lies within ourselves. And the Hermit light is, it carries this lantern and lights the way with his own lantern. So he kind of relies on his own clarity and relies on his own inner guidance that comes not from wanting to be isolated, not from dismissing other people's perspective, but from really the inner introspection and self-trust. So what this means is that in 2025, you're called to embrace solitude, not as isolation, not as stepping away from community, but as that sort of sacred opportunity to really realign with your essence, to welcome yourself back home within your essence. And as I said, the Hermit very much invites you to step back from the noise of the world and connect with your inner light that you carry. And this might be your higher self, this might be your divine wisdom, that spark of awareness and consciousness within you. No doubt through this process you will uncover new insights, perhaps you will heal old wounds, and certainly gain a deeper understanding of your path and your purpose going forward. So the slightly shadow side of the Hermit is that the path can feel a little bit slow and uncertain at times. So this is where patience will really become your ally in 2025, and really that trust in the timing, divine timing, and the journey unfolding ahead of you, and really honoring space for reflection. And rather than thinking about time as not passing quickly enough, thinking about the pace being divine timing and space for us for reflection and connecting with ourselves. With the Hermit, there is always a sense that, because of this strong wisdom, there is a connection very often with stepping into the role of a guide for others. So you might find yourself sharing a little bit more of your self-awareness and wisdom, and not just inner light and inner spark, but also experience. So as you become more grounded into that side of yourself, you might find, especially towards the second half of the year, as you're really embodying and stepping into this energy, that you become more of a guide for others, more of a teacher for others. Overall, I would say 2025 with the Hermit is a year of very deep listening. The Hermit is about tuning in, is about listening, is about listening to yourself, to the divine, whatever that means to you, to spirit, the universe, God, whatever resonates with you, and really acknowledging the experience and the wisdom that you gained through the years. And it's really an invitation to walk your path with authenticity and in a way that is very aligned, but also with a sense of respect and reverence that sometimes growth happens in the stillness. So you will notice from the card that there is no movement. He's standing there. And so again, that calling to making patience and divine time and space, rather than thinking about it as delays or stagnation, your best ally for the new year. I'm going to ask you in a second if and how this resonates with you. You can maybe start letting me know in the comments how this is landing with you as the overall 2025 energy. What I also done is pulled out some bullet points. So this is one of the slides that I was referring to at the beginning. Pulled out this is your screenshot moment. I will just, give you my best side if you want to screenshot the screen right now. This is where I pulled out more information on different aspects on the card that you can go back and reflect on. So as far as collective global energies, I think we're going to see movements advocating more sustainable growth and deeper wisdom, whether it is from an eco perspective, sustainable growth. I think we're going to see a lot more of that on a global level. I think we're going to see a lot of questioning of conventional paths with innovation coming from different ways of connecting with the environment around us, and also because of that kind of stillness that comes from the Hermit, we might also experience some delays or restructuring or a general need of letting go of old and outdated systems. So that's kind of the energy from a collective perspective. But then I also pulled in some points for you to reflect on when it comes to yourself. So in terms of your personal growth, you might really be feeling that yearning for greater authenticity. Like your BS detector might get like really heightened up in 2025. And really the theme of personal solitude and inner healing, I feel are going to be very good for 2025. So I feel because our authenticity is going to be turned up, we're going to be very discerning when it comes to the company and community that we connect with, and very selective in terms of our friends group and people that we keep close to ourselves. Perhaps it's going to be a year of spiritual awakening. Personally, I hope it's not for me. I feel like I've gone through enough dark nights of the souls and spiritual awakenings. So I hope that personally doesn't necessarily happen for me, but it's definitely an aspect that, that we can bear in mind and consider. And finally, some key opportunities and general guidance. Really 2025 is your year if you want to build inner resilience and wisdom. And if you're someone who's always second guessing your voice, your truth, your confidence, this is the year for you. This is going to be the year when we stop the people pleasing, when we stop just nodding and agreeing or putting other people's first, and we really trust that inner voice. And it's also, as I said, an element of sharing your light and becoming a guide for others as well. I'm going to stop sharing for a second because I've seen lots of comments popping in the chat. Yeah. I feel for me a purge of releasing and clearing lots of the things that have kept my life limited. Absolutely. Inner healing and discernment of others' energy resonates with me. Yes. Yeah, different changes. Absolutely. Lovely. Thank you for sharing in the comments. I'm glad that there are aspects that are resonating with you. Okay. So let's now step into a level deeper, okay? Let's go into guidance that really talks about how we feel this energy flow, more themes, and then the transition. Because yes, there is this umbrella energy, overarching energy of the hermit, but how do we transition from January to December? What is the journey going to look like? What ride are we about to take? So again, I use numerology to anchor ourselves on the 1st of January and then kind of anchor ourselves into the 31st of December. And I'm going to kind of read these energies as they transition from one to the other and see what wild and strange journey we have ahead of ourselves. So for those of you who know tarot or have done a little bit of quick Googling, you probably already worked out what the cards are. But the energy that we start our anchoring with in January is justice, and then we transition into the tower at the end of the year. Again, the tower is one that probably doesn't look as friendly as a tarot card. But as I said at the beginning, it's important to remember that these cards have all light and shadow aspects, okay? So in terms of how this transition looks like, I pulled out again a few elements for you to reflect on. So let's say if the overall theme for 2025 is the hermit, how is the journey going to feel and look like? So let's start from justice. We've already seen some themes around aligning with truth, and justice brings such a strong energy of focus on balance, integrity, and accountability. Again, this is a screenshot moment if you want to keep this for the future. So it's the archetype of justice is excellent in terms of clarity and decision making. So starting in January is almost like in January we have 10 out of 10, the energy of justice, and then it kind of goes into 0 mid-year, and then we start transitioning into the energy of the tower. So at the beginning of the year, you might feel that it's time to work on unresolved stuff, things that's been like those dead branches that have been there for some time. And I know, Cindy, you and I in the past have talked about how it's important to trim those branches, even though maybe in the past they were full of harvest, but maybe they are no longer. So justice brings in this energy of really feeling of clearing, of clarity and clearing, but also honesty and also taking responsibilities for your choices. So this is the bit that might feel a little bit more uncomfortable because we might get called to really kind of put a hand on our heart and be like, actually, I am in this situation because I made my life look this way. And this is not about blaming yourself, but it's about just acknowledging that you have agency and some decisions might have been more aligned than others. And certain things might not be resonating with you as maybe they were when you first took them. This is a time where you might feel called to really re-examine relationships, romantic, friendships, work relationship, but also career choices and personal habits. So everything through that lens of being fair, balanced, and authentic. Yeah. So this is where we're starting from, the energy that justice is bringing into our journey for 2025. So I'm going to kind of blend the two energies before I land into the tower. So because justice is asking us to be truthful, to be clear, to have the crystal clear authenticity and honesty, this will bring, as I've hinted earlier, moments of recalibrating things and challenging things, which might lead you to some difficult decisions, might lead you to step aside your comfort zone. And you might find that there are past actions or decisions, either coming from you or from others, that kind of come full circle, and they're now at a point where you can take the lesson and take the healing and move on, rather than staying in that energy for longer. With this, I really sense that there will be a sense of incredible liberation, just that sense of breaking out of old stuff, feeling more truthful, feeling clearer, feeling like almost like cracking out of a shell and expanding your energy, okay, as we transition from justice into the tower. Now, I know that the tower looks a little bit scary, but the title that I chose for this part of the energy of 2025 is Breaking Free for Renewal. So because of our clarity that we and steadiness and clear sight decision making, which might be even a little bit ruthless at the beginning of the year, we find ourselves in the second half and certainly the last part of 2025 under the influence of the tower that might feel intense, no doubt, but ultimately is so freeing, really taking away anything that was built on old foundations. So anything that is just like hanging in there, being taped and together with an elastic band and a toothpick, those things are going to go. All the relationships, all arrangements, all the habits, all of that is going to go. This might be in areas where perhaps you felt secure. It might be in areas that you thought, oh yeah, you know, I'm fine in this area of my life. So you might find yourself with a different career by the end of 2025, even though maybe it wasn't something that you were expecting to change next year. But there is a sense of letting go of the illusions and again, outdated structures that no longer resonate with that truth that so clearly the hermit with his inner journey and inner wisdom, and justice with that sense of clarity and rational, logical, clear sky type of thinking has brought into your energy, will really kind of highlight those illusions and those outdated structures in your life even more. With the tower, there is always a sense of having to surrender and trust, which for someone like me who is very happy to be in the driving seat at all times and being the one that is always charging ahead, it's not the easiest energy to embody for sure. But all of us here, we are spiritual, right? We are all holistically balanced in our energy. We think about ourselves as holistic and spiritual beings. And really, this is a moment for reflection for us on how we're going to do that in a way that feels safe and appropriate in our energy, that surrender and trust. And rather than seeing this as a moment of everything is going to come down crashing and it's going to be disaster and chaos, really thinking about how do I make space. So the theme of making space and clearing the old for the new, global level, individual level, is massive for next year. So that really you find hopefully by the end of 25 with something maybe is a little bit unexpected and new, but it's something that is more aligned and more authentic to you and your values. I'm going to stop for a moment. Okay, let me know in the comments if one, this is making sense, and two, what is resonating for you.
So I have a question.
Yes.
Is it going to be a better year than this year? Because I think everyone's wanting to ask that question. So I'm just going to get the elephant out the room and say, is it going to be easier than this year?
Well, I feel it's going to be more purposeful than this year. I think this year it felt like there were a lot of changes and shifts and chaos where we didn't necessarily see why or where they were going. The energy of the hermit brings wisdom, and with that wisdom, it that archetype brings a sense of not only I know what's coming, but I know why, and I can see why I'm going through this. So there is a sense of stronger personal agency that comes with it. So rather than feeling like we're being swept by our inner turmoil, or we're being swept by whatever chaos is happening around us, we feel more connected with our agency, and we really feel like we are firmly at one with ourselves and holding that light. Does that make sense?
Yeah, thank you very much. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Is there something else we don't have this kind of? Oh, really interesting, Elena. Lovely. Okay. So if all of this makes sense, and if you don't have any questions specifically on any of the things that I shared at macro level, we're ready to step into your energy and stepping into some like mini readings that connect specifically to you and your energy. Okay. I thought it was important to kind of set the scene for the macro energies, so that then you can take the individual readings as something that really connects with your journey and your personal path. So let's take just one moment to breathe. Yeah, there was a lot of reflections and a lot of things that we covered. So I'm going to ask yourself to kind of let all of that sink in. And it might be assimilated more on a mental level, or perhaps you're just feeling it in your body, or some emotions might be coming up, or maybe something that you are assimilating more on a spiritual level. But just let that sink in for a little while. And what I'm going to ask you to do is remember this last layer in my Christmas tree, unintentional Christmas tree. The question that I asked when I pulled these cards was, what supportive energy can I invite in? So my intention with this was providing you with 4 different cards, and people will resonate with different numbers, and you will just be pulled towards one card or another. So my intention is that when I was pulling these cards, that all of you will be drawn to the card that is most supportive for you and your individual journey. So I'm going to ask you to take one moment, reground if you need to, and think about the stuff that I just shared with you. Just centering your heart, and take a moment to look at these 4 cards on your screen, and see if there is one that is calling you. See if there is one that, whether it's the position or the number, there is something that is calling you and wants to kind of connect with you and your energy. And specific, our intention is, what supportive energy can I invite in? Okay, so just take a moment. Once you've chosen one, either 1, 2, 3, or 4, please put it in the comments. Let me know which one you've chosen. Three, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 3, 4, 2, number 3, 3. We have loads of 3s. 1, okay, lovely. Good. All right. Lovely. So I'm now going to reveal the cards, and then we're going to go into individual mini readings for each of the cards. Okay. So these are your cards. If you chose number 1, you got a King of Wands. If you chose number 2, you got a 9 of Pentacles. If you chose number 3, is the High Priestess. And if you chose number 4, is the Empress. Again, these cards have been drawn intuitively with the intention of pulling a card that would help and support you in 2025. Okay. So I'm going to start with the King of Wands. So for those of you, not many people, but for those of you who selected the card number 1, here are some thoughts. And again, you're very welcome to screenshot this. I'm going to leave this on the screen while I talk a little bit about the energy of the King of Wands, and specifically related to 2025 and how you can help and support and empower yourself next year in whatever your journey looks like. So with the Queen of Wands, it's a very, I guess the king offers a very dynamic and empowering answer to the question of what supportive energy you can invite. And we've seen like the calm hermit, and definitely the King of Wands is a change of pace there. And this card, you know, embodies the visionary leader, it embodies boldness, it embodies purpose, and really encourages you to step into your power and your confidence. Perhaps blending your creative passions, your creativity, with something that has a sense of being like a steady and grounded determination. So this is not the creativity that maybe we channel with the Suit of Cups, which is very deep and watery and floaty. The creativity of the Suit of Wands is very grounded, is very steady, is very determined. So sometime you've been thinking about starting a creative business or a creative endeavor, is that sort of energy. The King of Wands invites you to lead with clarity, with inspiration, trusting your ability not only to see the bigger picture, to have that vision, but to take action. So it's a beautiful card that combines vision and action, creativity and determination. It really speaks as well, we mentioned this earlier, to the energy of navigating challenges with resilience and adaptability, and reminds you to really stay focused on what your long-term goals are, rather than being swept away from the here and now. So some of the bullet points that I pulled out here is really connecting with your passions and let them guide your actions. So igniting that side of you, that integrity that comes with that strong-minded King of Wands energy. Take some risks, calculated risks, but there is a certain fiery, mischievous energy to the Suit of Wands that it's inviting you to step outside your comfort zone. But balance that with some wisdom. The kings are the more mature in the suit, so this card is encouraging you, yes, to take action, yes, to take some risk, but to always underpin that with wisdom and maturity. So these are some of the themes and guidance and wisdom if you chose the King of Wands. Last chance for a little screenshot, if you would like to. Okay. And now, if you chose card number 2, I feel quite a few people have chosen card number 2, is the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, so Nine of Pentacles is definitely a change of pace on the King of Wands, and it really offers a very supportive, grounding energy in terms of the energy to invite into your 2025. It embodies independence, self-sufficiency, it embodies feeling rewarded for your hard work. It really encourages you to cultivate a life that has balance between abundance, but not only focusing on achieving your goals, but also savoring and appreciating the fruits of your efforts. So you see this beautiful woman in this great garden, wealthy and abundant. Let's make sure that we get the most out of the fruits of our labor. So this energy is really inviting you to create a solid foundation for yourself, built on your skills, on perseverance, but also alignment with your values. And it's really about honoring your achievements, stepping into your personal power, creating that space where you can enjoy your peace, your comfort, the beautiful and fine things in life. So as you can see from some of the bullet points that I pulled out, it's all about embracing your self-reliance, not in an isolating way, in an empowering way, trusting yourself to be able to be independent emotionally, spiritually, and from a material perspective as well. It's a card that speaks of harmony, so that balance between achieving something and then enjoying that abundance or those goals that you have reached. Celebrating your success. I know that this has been personally a big journey for me, celebrating my successes. I'm not someone that does that very easily, but really celebrating, taking the time to acknowledge how far you've come, not just focusing on all the things that you still need to achieve. And then another aspect of this card is very much around quality over quantity. So there is a sense of whether it's your relationships or work or your hobbies, really thinking about what enhances your sense of fulfillment and joy. So this is the mini reading for the Nine of Pentacles, if you chose number 2. Okay. Last opportunity for a little screenshot. High Priestess. So quite a few of you selected number 3. I've seen a lot of 3s in the chat. So we know that the High Priestess is mystical, is so intuitive. So these are maybe the qualities that you might find as supportive and for you for 2025. Of course, she represents the power of inner wisdom, connection with your subconscious, trusting in divine timing. That's a theme that is coming up again for us this evening. And there is an invitation from this card of going like a level deeper in solidifying and deepening your relationship with your intuition. And it's almost like there is a quiet confidence in the energy of the High Priestess. She's kind of guided by the unseen forces of the universe, and she looks like she's not really moving, but there is a sense of inner alignment. So once again, the guidance from the High Priestess is to step away from external noises and distractions. So if you chose card the number 3, is almost like you have a double confirmation message there, and focusing on the wisdom within. Bullet points and aspects that I pulled out for you this evening: really listening to your intuition and follow your own inner guidance, even when people disagree with you. Honor your inner world. And with this, I mean, you know, we all have, whether it's a spiritual practice, a meditation, journaling, or whether it's something completely different. Maybe you love reading and you love immersing yourself in stories and words that come out from the words of a book. Really honor that part of yourself. Allow yourself space to live and connect in your inner world, in a sacred space. You might find that you will embrace a little mystery. It might be a bit of a mystical and mysterious year, and embracing that might be a good support for you going into 2025. And just observe the beauty and the wisdom as things unfold for you. And finally, this is a theme again that came through a little bit with the Hermit as well. Really feeling comfortable taking those times for reflections that allow you to reconnect with your own inner harmony, especially in times of change, of if there is confusion around you. So a sense of calm, clarity, and alignment with your higher self is what the High Priestess is offering to you for 2025. And finally, if you selected the Empress, card number 4, card number 4 is yet another feminine energy. We have a lot of feminine energy in these 4 different options for the cards. So she has more of a nurturing and abundant energy. She embodies creation, growth, connection with nature, the cycles of nature, and life itself. It's about embracing your creative power, cultivating self-love and self-respect, and allowing abundance to flow in different areas of your life. And the Empress very much teaches us that by nurturing yourself and others with care, with compassion, with kindness, you really create that fertile ground for growth and fulfillment. So she calls you to align yourself with nature, with being connected with the seasons, and with honoring that deeper feminine archetype that she carries. So in terms of bullet points that I pulled out for you, creativity in a different way though. You know, we've seen creativity for the King of Wands, but here creativity is different. It's about something that feels more visceral, perhaps. It's about something, you know, you might call this new project your baby. Your project, you might call it your baby. The little creature, the thing that you want to really bring into the light, into the world. There is a very strong suggestion to prioritize nurturing, whether it's your body, your money, your spirit, really investing in that self-care that is not just, you know, getting your nails done or a haircut, that really goes deeper within your energy and nurtures and supports your body. And then aligning with the sense of abundance. So really feeling more that sense of gratitude and trust in the endless flow of resources that are available to you. The Empress very much invites you to live in harmony with abundance rather than with scarcity, you know, this beautiful bounty of nature that is represented in the card. And again, connection with nature is always an aspect of this card that comes forward when it comes to the card, to the guidance. So she has a softness to her, but also profound strength for sure. It is an invitation to connect with nature, harmony of seasons, the harmony of natural timing, and really almost like planting a seed and nurture it as you continue in 2025. Okay, I'm going to stop right here. All right, so hopefully everyone got the messages. All right. So I can see it resonated with you. Definitely for me, yeah. I'm loving my number card 4 choice. Okay, lovely. Do you have, let me know in the chat, do you have any questions or anything that stands out to you or anything that has resonated in any particular way for you, maybe with some of the plans that you already had for 2025 or some of the things that maybe you didn't expect to come up this evening? Let me know. Have I missed any questions, Cindy, while I wasn't at the chat?
There was one earlier from the beginning, from Rachel. She asked a question.
Tessa says, I did not expect it to be a slow year. I think it's going to be a year that is a little bit like a swan, like everything is calm and quiet on the surface, but there will be a lot of change of structures and a lot of realignment of things. I don't think it's slow as in nothing is going to happen, but I think there's going to be a call to rather being outward looking, to be inward looking. And with that combo of justice and tower, really looking at ways where we can reset the old. So I think there will be some change and some disruption, and this might not always be slow, but I think it's not something it's going to be profoundly anchored in our inner worlds. That's a big theme that I think is coming up, our inner world and how we reflect that into the outer world. When you say more sense of self-agency for next year, does this also mean more sovereign, I can't say that word.
Sovereignty.
Thank you. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Being your own queen or your own king. Yes, absolutely. I love that, Kristen. When outer structures fall apart, we need to find our inner structure to surrender. Beautiful. And Rachel said, number 3 really resonate in that I will be delving into more spiritual work, meditate, dream work, and journaling. Beautiful. And Giancarlo say, yes, what you've said so far has resonated with what I envision for what I want to make next year work for me. Fantastic. Lovely. Okay. So at this point, since we shared this information, there was a lot packed in one hour, not even. So hopefully this has given you a bit of an understanding of the incredible layers and different ways of working with tarot, whether it is macro energies, individual readings, whether it is collective readings that work at different levels. Let me know how it goes. I would love for you to get in touch with me later on in 2025 and let me know what happened, or, send us a little message and say, yes, I've listened or looked again at my notes and I can see now that it's resonating this way, or that makes more sense. So I'm really looking forward to seeing, your thoughts and reflections later on. But before we go, Cindy at the beginning of the evening mentioned in fact, there are quite a few this evening, lovely foundations in tarot students that have just accredited. It's been like the magic of tarot, which I hope I have shared with you this evening, and that I infected you a little bit with the bug of tarot and shared my passion and enthusiasm with you. That course has been extremely popular, and we sold out for the September intake. We're pretty much sold out for intermediate starting in January, but we are opening our doors for another foundations course starting in January, the 21st of January. And Cindy, I don't know if you want to talk a little bit more about the details, but basically we have a bit of a early bird offer coming up if you're interested in joining us. And before I hand over that part, Foundations in Tarot is really for anyone who either doesn't know the cards at all and is curious, or maybe you have a deck gathering dust somewhere and you want to learn a little bit more about the structure of the deck, minors, the suits, the majors, start really delving into the archetypes of the tarot, getting confident doing the readings. We underpin everything with great code of ethics because the course is fully accredited. So you don't just learn about the cards, you also learn about how to read in real life. We do loads of fun exercises. We have a fun WhatsApp group, which is super active. And then we also do practice with 2 cards readings and 3 cards readings. So it is quite a transformative journey for 10 weeks. So if that's something that you're interested in, I would love for you to join me and get that excitement and passion about tarot and grow that passion with me. Okay, Cindy, I see that you put a note. So basically, if we share again, I guess. There you go. All right. So if you want to join me for the new Foundation in Tarot course that is starting on Tuesday, 21st of January, this is the program. As I said, loads of different aspects of the course, different aspects of tarot that we will cover. And then as part of our 12 days of tarot that we have been doing in December, which, by the way, if you haven't caught up with that on Facebook or Instagram, please do. It's been great fun. The school is offering £15 off for international students or 150 rands for South African students if you book and pay for your seat by the 22nd of December. And these are the codes that you can use. Anything else that I forgotten?
So I think you've done it all in under an hour.
There you go. The magic of stretching time.
Has anyone got any questions or would like any clarity before we go this evening? Tessa, hi. Do you want to just unmute yourself, actually?
Hi. Okay, mine's just a stupid question. I just went on this thing and I put in there Tarot 150 and it never changed the price on the second page. So I don't know what I'm doing.
Did you do checkout?
Yes, but it comes up at 1750 and it doesn't take off the 150.
I have to admit, I actually booked one myself today and it did work. So I'm going to ask you to persevere a little bit because when we do these events, I always get really nervous. I actually purchased the ticket and put the code in and it worked for me. Go to the checkout and then put the code in.
Okay.
Is there any questions? And you can always reach out to us tomorrow to just send us an email and we'll get you through it, Tessa. Anybody got anything else?
So
Chantal?
Lauren's saying, can you do foundations with PDF foundations term 2? Yes, I don't think there is a time clash, but in terms of content, yes, you can do both. What is the code? We can share that again, I'm sure. Are there any other questions more about the content or anything that I can clarify for you or anything else that you want to ask about tarot?
Sorry.
Yes, that's
Yes, sir.
Sorry. Okay, so my question is like, I don't know which one to do first. So I want to do tarot. I also want to do the intuition and the psychic thing. So I don't know, like, how do you know where to start?
There's early next year, there'll be a place where you can book a chat for me and we'll have a 20-minute chat and we can talk around that. And I'll make sure that you still get the discount. How's that if you want to have a chat to me?
Thanks.
If you just email that, we'll send you a link and you can book a chat early in the new year.
Okay, thanks.
Solly, I think it's been a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom, giving us insights, choosing some beautiful, inspiring cards. I feel hopeful. I feel like I have some guidance. I hope everybody else feels the same. I wish each and every one of you some self-care and some self-rest over this time, connection or withdrawal from connection, whichever is going to rock your boat at this time. But most of all, turn your phones off, connect either with yourself or your loved ones. But wishing, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you to our tutors. Thank you to our admin. Thank you to all of you for showing up. We are very grateful because we have had a beautiful year, and it takes each and every one of you to help us in our community, to work with us, to grow the energy. So thank you, everybody. We are really grateful to each and every one of you. Have a fantastic time. Good night. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.